The collateral damage of the Elon Musk-Donald Trump civil war and really all of the chaos that is happening in this administration is so wide-reaching in MAGA world. But the person who it might indirectly affect the most, the person who is having the worst time because of it, is Karoline Leavitt, who has to answer for the crisis her boss is facing, answer for the chaos within MAGA, and she is unable to do so. And when she was confronted today on Fox, of all places, over Stephen Miller's wife scandal and the physical fight that Elon got in the Oval Office, she just completely lost her mind and also started threatening a reporter. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you want to support our work, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, Karoline Leavitt was asked a lot of questions in her interview, which went so poorly, but it started with this one about the rift between Musk and Trump.
Morning.
Thanks for having me, Maria. It's great to see you.
So I know that the president is zeroing in on this bill. We are in the final 11th hour here as the Senate works through it. But let me start with Elon Musk. Does the president have any plans to speak with him this week? Has he spoken to him yet since this fight?
No, he hasn't, and frankly, I don't think the president intends to. The president is very much focused on delivering on his priorities for the American people, and that includes passing the one big, beautiful bill. And I'd like to add that the president shares the concerns of Elon and Senator Johnson about our nation's debt crisis. It's one of the many reasons he decided to run for president in re-election again. And that's precisely why we need this bill to pass and to be sent to the president's desk for signature as soon as possible. Because this bill provides $1.6 trillion in mandatory savings. And when you combine that with the tariff revenue that President Trump's America First trade agenda is bringing in, nearly $3 trillion over the next 10 years, that's a projection, according to the Congressional Budget Office. And when you combine that with the Council of Economic Advisors' projected growth of 3%, we're going to cut the deficit by $8 trillion over the next 10 years. And look at all of the other pro-growth economic policies this president has taken. He understands the concerns about our nation's crippling debt. That's why we need this bill to pass. It will ultimately reduce the deficit, and the president is very much focused on signing this historic piece of legislation.
Yeah, and I know
Karoline Leavitt attempting to downplay the rift between Trump and Musk is just such a joke to me. It is out in the open. We see them sparring, attacking each other. The blows haven't stopped. Elon's now saying he might want to donate to Democrats, which, Elon, we don't want your fascist money. Donald Trump is making these vague threats against him. It only picks up, and especially as more reporting seemingly being leaked out of the White House comes out, including the fight with Scott Bessent, the physical fight that Elon Musk got into. Karoline Leavitt was asked about it here. Her answer might surprise you.
tomorrow. But Karoline, what I'm trying to understand here is how rough this got, because the president said that Elon Musk disrespected the office of the president. Now, we know that there was real disrespect in a lot of those X posts from Elon Musk, for sure. But did he actually get physical? Was there a fist fight that he body checked the Treasury Secretary?
I certainly wouldn't describe it as a fist fight, Maria. It was definitely a disagreement. Although I was not there, I didn't witness it with my own eyes. I heard about it through secondhand reporting. But again, we've moved on from that. The president has moved on from it. And the entire administration is focusing on passing this bill. But also, Maria, cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from our government remains a critical component of this administration's agenda.
Understood. Okay, so tomorrow...
This really reminds me of when Karoline Leavitt was asked about Donald Trump being in the Epstein files. Not really a denial there. She certainly tried to brush it off and talk about something else, but she's not coming out against it. This fight definitely happened. There's some people challenging it because the initial reporting is from Steve Bannon, but I completely believe that Elon Musk is such a toddler that he got into a physical fight after not getting his way. And I want it to be the case, not only, because Elon got a little jab back, and it's also hilarious to think of him as such a loser, but it also means that the civil war isn't just between Trump and Musk. It is so much deeper. It is between Musk and all of MAGA world, and that obviously includes Stephen Miller, who not only has had his wife taken from him lately, but also he is seeing his illegal deportation plan backfire all across the country. And it's for that reason that Karoline Leavitt is now threatening reporters Watch her respond to this Miller scandal.
Paying for it. Stephen Miller put a post out about the details of the big, beautiful bill, and he was attacked by one of the reporters apparently on ABC. I saw your tweet about it, and you say last night in a since-deleted post, so-called journalist Terry Moran went on a rampage against Stephen Miller. What happened, Karoline?
Well, ABC is going to have to answer for what their, again, so-called journalist put out on Twitter in the wee hours of the night, calling Stephen Miller vile. They said that President Trump is a world-class hater. And this is, again, coming from someone who is supposed to be an unbiased and professional journalist. This is unacceptable and unhinged rhetoric coming from someone who works at a major television network. We have reached out to ABC. They have said they will be taking action, so we will see what they do. But I think this speaks to the distrust that the American public have in the legacy media, and it's why in the White House press shop and in President Trump's White House, we have made so many significant and much-needed changes to press access and transparency at the White House. We've invited in new media. We have shaken up the White House press pool, and we also just won a major victory over the Associated Press, who thought that they had a constitutional right to walk into the Oval Office or to fly on Air Force One, and a judge said no. In fact, those are privileged spaces that belong to the President of the United States, and this is a great ruling for democracy. We fought them in court, and we won. And so we will continue to keep or hold journalists accountable. All we're asking for is truth and transparency. That's it.
Of course. And you said ABC is going to take action. What do you expect that action to be?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, hopefully this journalist will either be suspended or terminated. You cannot go on these unhinged rants against administration officials and the President of the United States, and then clearly he knew he was wrong because he deleted the post as soon as he allegedly woke up this morning.
Karoline, it's great to have you this morning.
Saying that Stephen Miller is vile because he wants an unjustifiable amount of unnecessary arrests and deportation to satisfy a nonsense quota that doesn't make us safe. The same guy helping Donald Trump send mass thugs to beat up peaceful protesters in LA, calling him vile, that is reporting the truth. That is spot on. And Karoline Leavitt saying a reporter should get fired for doing so just goes to show that the anti-press press secretary that she is, this administration doesn't care about free speech as much as they claim to. That's very clear in the way that they've attacked the speech of communities in LA. And one of the best responses I saw to that, I just had to play this clip for y'all when I saw it, was from a protester on the ground. And let's take a look.
You told me you got caught up in the tear gas as well. Describe what happened to you.
Oh, just tasted a little tear gas. Tasted like fascism.
I love that guy. What a champ. What a fighter. Tasted like fascism. And he's still there. He's fighting back. Glad he had sunglasses on. Now Donald Trump is saying that if you're a protester, we're going to ban you from wearing a mask. We're going to make it illegal for you to wear a mask so we can make sure we get all that tear gas in your mouth and in your eyes. I'm glad he's protected. I'm glad that guy's out there fighting. What a badass. Just a champ. Good for him. We need more people like that. And we need Democrats in this moment stepping up and calling out the fascistic attack on LA that is happening right now. Cory Booker did and made such an excellent point right here.
We are now at a point where we have a president who sat back and did nothing as people stormed our Capitol, viciously beat police. And then when those people who viciously beat police and led to some of their deaths, therefore cop killers, were convicted by juries, he then pardoned them all. So for him to be talking to anybody right now about responsive law enforcement to protect people is hypocritical at best. The reality is we see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles. And again, any violence against police officers should not be accepted. Local authorities can handle that. But remember, a lot of these peaceful protests are being generated because the President of the United States is sowing chaos and confusion by arresting people who are showing up for their immigration hearings.
Now, if you follow me on Twitter or you saw this posted around Blue Sky, a couple of people shared it. One of the propaganda Twitter accounts for Trump, one of the government Twitter accounts has just been taken over by one of his communication staff stooges, was saying, you know, anyone who attacks a police officer, you'll be held accountable because this isn't a peaceful protest. This is a riot. It is a peaceful protest, by the way. Yeah, I responded to that and mentioned, as Cory Booker did as well, that, yeah, Donald Trump started his administration by saying anyone who beats up cops, if they do it for me, you're all in the clear. And it's, again, not just that Donald Trump pardoned the 1,500 cop-beating insurrectionists, those criminals, violent criminals. It's not just that he pardoned them. It's what the message was. It's the message Donald Trump continues to send about violence if it's in support of him, that he is not just A-okay with it, he's encouraging it. And he's going to help you carry out that violence. He's going to let his ICE thugs put on their mask and refuse to identify themselves as they disappear people off the street, at the same time as he's attacking those victims that the ICE agents are going after, saying they can't wear masks. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He is making it easier for his people to beat up and try to suppress us and hold our voices down. That's what Donald Trump is doing. That's what this represents. And that's why it's so much more important than ever that Democrats keep calling it out. We have to. And the same way that we have to keep bringing attention back to his disgraceful agenda, I'm getting fired up. So was Cory Booker when he called it out right here.
This is a bill that adds to our deficits in a colossal way. And for any fiscal hawk or someone who's fiscal prudent to be behind it, shows that they are hypocrites and that they are more in allegiance to the president than sound fiscal policy. But here's what makes this bill even worse. Americans will pay so much more in order to give tax cuts to billionaires. The average healthcare premiums for Americans will go up about $900 a year.
Good on Cory Booker. And Cory Booker, in that Meet the Press interview with Kristen Welker that I watched this morning, he was asked about taking money from Elon Musk. If any Democrats should take money from Elon Musk now that he's thinking about, you know, switching up on Trump in the fundraising sense. No. Please don't even entertain this idea. Please do not entertain this idea. We are the party that talks about getting dark billionaire dollars out of politics. We need to be the party that will not turn around and welcome in a fascist who was throwing up a Sig Heil a couple of months ago. What are you talking about? Potentially bringing Elon Musk into the fold. I'm not going to tell him to shut up when he's saying that Trump is on the Epstein list. I'll repost that. I'm not going to tell him to shut up when he's trashing his bill. Great. But Elon Musk is not the person that we're agreeing with. Elon Musk is agreeing with us. I'm not going to bring him in and give him a little attaboy. No, he can do whatever he wants, but it's not alongside the Democrats. It can be independent. I'm not bringing him in. I'm going to keep pushing that message. If you agree and you support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.